Hi, I'm Morgan Murray, and this is Dirty Birds. He tried instrumentation, welding, pipe fitting, carpentry, and a brief flirtation with the electrical before finding a program he could stomach in his 5th year, Artistic Sciences. The Artistic Sciences was an altogether made-up discipline that Puss administration concocted to tap a lucrative market for students who eschew stable careers in favor of mislaid conceptions of illusory personal fulfillment, according to a secret memo obtained by the Moose Jaw Times-Herald through a Freedom of Information request as part of a sweeping investigation into the bankruptcy of Puss years later. Thanks to Milton's 4-year tour through the trades, he only needed to complete the final course, Art Sci 1000, Applied Art Sciences. Semi-retired millwright instructor Mr. Mustache Ballcap Steel-Toed Boots led a class of misfit toys through such topics as theater set framing and wiring, sculpting with pipe, live figure AutoCAD drafting, and a final self-directed project. Milton's final project was a book of semi-lewd poems titled OAD, a clever secret reference to the hollowness of his heart without Ashley D in it. OAD was 536 pages long. Milton sent it away to be leather-bound at a specialty bookbindery in Iceland. Skorglet Polka, LLC, from Reykjavik, had pioneered a method of compressing many types of organic fibers into a kind of synthetic suede that could be used for things like book covers. Milton paid $1,200, every last cent he had, to have them turn thin slices of dehydrated reindeer heart into a lavishly plush book cover with the title and his name, albeit misspelled, and a minimalist sketch of the Mona Lisa embossed in gold on the cover. His masterpiece contained poems such as the eponymous OAD, which contained lines like, "Woe, woe is the heart that does not start to break so fast because it was consumed as breakfast. Woe, woe is the heart that does not mark the passing of time because it does not have a dime. Woe, woe is the heart that cannot part because it has no past, only eyes for that ass." Footnote. It was supposed to read, "for that lass," but Milton didn't have time to proofread his masterpiece before sending it to Skorglet Polka, LLC. Milton poured his heart into the project. He was sure it was going to get an A+, and Miss Mustache Ballcap Steel-Toed Boots would send a copy immediately to his cousin at Random House, and it would become an instant smash-hit bestseller, and he would return to Belly Button richer than a first-year instrumentation apprentice, and his parents would apologize and tell him they were wrong to doubt him. And he'd be made the marshal of the Chafe Dates parade, and as the parade pulled back into the Legion parking lot after its 3-block lap around town, he would see Ashley D. in a sundress, squinting into the light reflected off the pristine green paint of the John Deere S700 Combine they let the marshal drive in the parade each year, and he'd hop down from the climate-controlled surround sound with satellite radio cab, take her by the hand and run off to the shores of Diefenbaker Lake, and he'd give her a reindeer-bound copy of OAD, and she would swoon, and they'd make love right there on the shore. He was sure of all of this. Well, most of it. He wasn't sure if there was a new S-Series Combine out this year or not, but if there was, Central Butte Machine would provide the newest model for the parade marshal. Other than that, he was sure of every last detail. But Mr. Mustache Ballcap Steel-Toed Boots wasn't a connoisseur of poetry, and didn't even have a cousin at Random House. His criteria for grading final projects was potential financial value and employable skills exhibited. So when Milton got his priceless project back, there was a giant D- scratched in red Sharpie on the inside of the back cover, with the comment, "Poetry is a dead medium that has long been surpassed by newer stuff like TV and videos. A quick search of the Google shows that the few poetry books that still get made don't make any money at all, and that poets usually die poor and by suicide. These poems, or at least the first 30 I got through, are all so sad and not very good, and you seem to be obsessed with some guy named Andy. Overall, this is worthless art. You've shown little employable skills. This would have been a fail, but for the fine leatherwork on the cover, might I suggest changing to our leatherwork program? Here's a brochure." Hi, I'm Morgan Murray, and this is Dirty Bird. Graduate. Milton's parents drove down for Milton's graduation ceremony, and mostly to take him back to Belly Button. The celebration only lasted until they were out in the parking lot.
You have a job lined up yet?
Not yet. Maybe Randy's for now.
I ran into Karen the other day at the post office.
Randy's? You went to school for 5 years to stock shelves at Randy's?
She said Roger has the gout pretty bad.
Should have stayed with instrumentation.
I told Karen that Roger needs to get off the sweets. They're just so bad for you.
Good money in it.
It's so bad Karen wasn't sure he was going to be able to make it up to Edmonton this weekend.
Remember Tiny Smots' boy Teeny from hockey? Could barely lick his lips.
Ashley's graduating from medical school.
He finished his instrumentation 3 frickin' years ago. He's working at Fort Max. Walks a dog all day for $65 an hour.
Hun, I wish you wouldn't curse so much.
What'd I say?
The thing about the dog.
The dog? That's what they call it.
Call what?
Sitting around the dog. It's a technical term.
It's just so crude.
That's 65 an hour straight time, Milt.
Karen said Ashley finished a year early, too.
You'd get time and a half for overtime on top of that.
They're just so proud of her.
Tiny says Teeny makes $100 an hour on overtime, and when he's up north, he's only working in the camps.
Not that your father and I aren't proud of you.
That's 10 times what Randy will ever pay you.
We know you worked really hard on your arts diploma.
Worked hard? It took him 5 years to get the arts diploma.
You could have gone to medical school, hon, if you just applied yourself more.
He didn't have grades for that, Mother.
I sure hope Roger's gout clears up soon.
Probably not too late to finish the instrumentation. It's good money.
With the wedding coming up, he'll want to walk her down the aisle.
Wait, what?
I should have stuck with instrumentation like Teeny Smaltz.
No, the other part.
Roger's gout?
No, a wedding?
Oh yes, they're planning on getting married in the fall back home. It's so pretty by the lake in the fall, just after harvest. Everyone in town is just so excited.
Maybe you could get your ticket quicker because you've had a 5-year head start.
Who's getting married?
Ashley and some doctor fellow from Edmonton.
Ashley D?
Yes, hun. She brought him home for chaff days this year. Really handsome, tall fellow. Seemed nice.
Good money in instrumentation.
They're a cute couple. They even let him drive the new S800 in the parade to sort of initiate him into the community.
You should have seen them in a new S800S.
He said it was just like driving his BMW. Oh, did we laugh at that.
They've got a hydrostatic clutch supposed to last 10,000 hours.
Do you remember his name, hun?
Who's that? Tiny Smots?
No, Dukowski's girl's fellow. They had him driving the S800 in the parade.
That fella couldn't drive a hot stick through fresh snow. He had the hydrostatic smoking all the way down the main street.
He's a real nice fellow.
That Dukowski girl wouldn't be hanging around that skinny doctor fella if he wasn't loaded.
Anyway, I'm sure you'll think of something, hun.
He's had 5 years to think. He needs a job.
You could have gone to medical school, hun, if you just applied yourself.
He should have stuck with instrumentation. $100 an hour for f***ing a dog?
Oh my, hun, are you all right? Pull over, hun. Milty's car sick, poor thing.
I'm not pulling over. We're making good time.
What's wrong, hun? Are you gonna puke, hun? I think he's gonna puke.
He's not gonna puke. This is the flattest, straightest road on earth. He's not car sick. He's fine.
He doesn't look fine.
Milton's mom rummaged through a pile of trash on the floor in the back seat of the car to find a half a bottle of old Diet Coke.
Here, hun, drink this.
I'm fine, I just need some air. Milton opened the window next to his head, and the fresh air helped, but it also picked up about 200 poems worth of loose papers he had in an open box and sucked them out of the car.
Oh, Milty, your art! Hun, pull over! Milty's art!
That ain't art. It's just a bunch of paper. It's biodegradable. It's fine.
Milton decided in that second, in the back of that car, to make his sole purpose in life to get to Montreal as soon as he could. He got his old job back at Uncle Randy's, but Uncle Randy would only give him 2 or 3 hour shifts at a time and refused to pay him an actual minimum wage and instead paid him $5 an hour in cash. The tax man would take more than that anyway. So it took Milton a while to get enough to get away. Within 6 months, though, the week before Ashley D. got hitched to Dr. Jerkface McClutchsmoke on the shores of Lake Diefenbaker, Milton hitched a ride to Regina with One-Eyed Rick, a local courier who ran freight for several farm supply stores along Highway 42. There he used 35 $5 bills. Uncle Randy took that $5 an hour cash very literally to buy a one-way bus ticket to Montreal.